A little disclaimer. Hello everybody. Hopefully the stream didn't take too long because I think something happened um during like setting up the stream. Like I recently created streams where it's going to be scheduled for later for people to get notified, but for some reason that didn't last for a few seconds. I don't know why. Perhaps like I was like clicking too fast on OBS and just a lot of different things and problems. But today we are going to be resuming drawing our manga. Today is another manga series. And if you guys haven't checked that out, you should definitely check that out. The link is down in the description below. Webtoons, Yuki's Endless Void. This is going to be episode 12. Episode 12 hasn't came out yet, but you can check the recent episodes if you haven't ever heard of Yuki's Endless Void. But other than that, though, we're going to be starting today. Just give me like one moment. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. But yeah, as you can see, I already started the sketch and having everything ready to go. I don't know, sketching this today was actually pretty fun. So if you guys don't know, I actually have a Google Doc, wrote down like the storyline and the story and their subtitles of what they would say to each other, wrote down in like a Google Doc, and I basically go off of that and then draw what I think that scenery might look like. The thing is, I think something that really helps a lot is that if you kind of like practice on the side, especially like face expressions, and kind of have like a warm up a little bit before going into like expressions or sceneries, I think those help quite a lot, because I used to just go into, drawing digitally right away before kind of planning ahead, or kind of, having a space for mistakes, which is not bad. Having space for mistakes is not bad at all. Okay. There we go. All right. I think I got everything ready. Sorry, guys. I'm doing something. All right. So, we're going to start with the line art first. We kind of have like two versions here. I took like two pictures. I think this one looks better, but, I'm going to delete. Wait, this one? This one. They look kind of the same, but doesn't matter. Also, I have found a way to do digital art without a drawing tablet. Is it with a phone? Because that's the only thing I can think of. Because I don't know any other like way that you can, kind of draw without, like, draw digitally without like a device, with the phone at least. Like, you have to have like a phone or something like that. But if you have other ways, that's totally amazing. I think they have this really cool device. It has something to do with like a sketchbook, and it's connected to your phone, and you can draw in the sketchbook, and then the thing that you drew on the sketchbook that's connected to your phone would appear on your phone, and you're drawing traditionally and digitally at the same time, which is, I think, pretty cool. But me personally, I have never tried that out yet. So, yeah. Alright, I low-key want to draw out the characters first, before anything, but let's align this whole page a little bit better. See what we can do here. There we go. Alright. Okay. But yeah, this is Yuki, and then Aoi is over here. This is Leah. If you guys still, then again, have not catch up to the episodes, don't worry. Definitely go check it out, because these actually take a lot of time. I have to draw 6 pages for one episode, so it takes quite a while. I'm not going to lie to you. It takes quite a while. Right. But yeah, lately, I've been just kind of practicing sketching, and I think it's been really fun. I can show you my sketchbooks. Like, I think I finished my whole sketchbook, actually. I finished the whole book. Perhaps inside there are some filled pages, but I have actually finished the whole sketchbook, which I'm really happy about. The whole sketchbook actually took me since last year, or since mid-year last year, I guess, around that time, if that makes sense. But it was really fun. That sketchbook, I posted a lot of shorts about it, and I think that sketchbook is coming to an end, because I finished mostly the pages. I'm like basically at its end, and it's like a really thick sketchbook. It's a huge sketchbook. It's not like a tiny sketchbook where you can finish it in mere months if you are really dedicated or motivated. And yeah, comment down below if I should do like a sketchbook tour. It's sort of traditional, sort of digital. So I do the first step. I forgot the name of the blue. Then I do like the line art, take a photo, and transfer it to the PC. Then I go into the art program. Krita. Oh, I've never heard of Krita before. Krita is a quite complex program. I'd say, because I tried it before, and not gonna lie, it was really complicated. And then trace it in color. Okay. So is it something kind of like how I'm doing, where take a picture and then trace and then color in? Basically doing some parts in the traditional way and then most parts in the digital way. But yeah, while I was drawing Yuki, I was like really hesitant because her eyes are huge, and I don't know if I could draw her the same way every single time, so I was kind of hesitant if I drew her eyes too big. There we go. Voila. I really like to do this like nose thingy. I don't know why. It's like really kind of cool or like cute to me, I guess. There we go. I personally really like this page because of the detail that I put in it. And it was really fun drawing this page. And also, hello. Yes, I remember. Hello. Thank you guys so much for stopping by today. For the people who just joined for the first few seconds of just like waiting for the stream to start, thank you guys so much. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Yeah, right now I'm just kind of like tracing the hair of Yuki. I'm tempted to leave the stream on while I sleep. Depending if it's on your phone or your computer or your laptop. Phone, I do not recommend. Laptop, I also don't really recommend it as much, but it's less dangerous than the phone. PC, I think it's more okay, but if you want to listen to me yap while you sleep, I would probably say that would be not the best rest. So yeah, not the best like sleep, so I personally don't like to listen to someone yap while I'm sleeping. So because the thing is about streaming these like art channel things, like streaming your art pieces while you like draw digitally, people usually like to stop by and talk at the same time, because if you don't talk, they just think it's boring and they want to leave, unless they're like artists themselves and they actually want to study on how that specific artist is drawing their work in real time. They wouldn't want to stay. So over the years, I have kind of collected my strategies, or as you would say, skill, to speak at the same time while I draw, because I'd say it's quite crucial when it comes to live streaming, while drawing. What am I drawing now? Good question. I am drawing Yuki's Endless Void, my manga, as I discussed yesterday. In the description down below, there is a Webtoons link, and it will link you all to the Webtoons that I've made since 2021. EM noises. It is by... I don't know what that means. What's wrong with the stream chat in the corner? What is wrong with it? I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it's okay. But yeah, while drawing this page on the paper, I was really just enjoying the storyline making and also kind of having the expressions being drawn, even though the expressions weren't the most expressional, I'd say, but you know, it's quite nice. Oh, wait, I think I know why. Okay, that is odd. Okay, I think I know why. I think I know what's going on. Alright. Let me fix that. There we go. So I think the reason that is because I was trying to start a stream, kind of having a problem, and anyway, it's fixed now. Draw like this. But yeah, I really like to go into details with some of these pages. But then again, sometimes I have to tell myself, you know, I gotta hold back because you have to leave space for, you know, not having a burnout. Plus, you know, like for the effects and stuff, for the effects and whatnot. Alrighty then. Okay. Here we go. I don't know what this line is over here. Oh, I think I know. It's her hair strand. Okay. But like, because this pen is like really roundish, kind of doesn't have a sharp edge. So let's fix that. Like so. It looks kind of odd. Here we go. Alright. Yeah, this scene is basically about them trying to find a place to rest in the liminal spaces. And always still kind of struggling to trust Leah. I don't know, story making is just like really fun to me. If you like, because someone asked if I like to draw illustrations more or manga art more, and I just can't really decide because I do enjoy story making, but I think story making also can be in a variety of different ways to kind of explain the story. It can be like also in illustration wise, not just like manga wise, but I'd say I like both. But I think the next thing that I would like to learn is 3D animation or 3D art at first. talk about animation, I am trying to wrap up the animation that I have for this manga. It's kind of like a opening, like a anime opening type of animation, even though it isn't the highest quality. I've been working on it for quite a while now, and I thought it was really just great and amazing to see it all come together after spending hours on an animation. The animation is colored, so it isn't black and white. If it was black and white, it would have been published on YouTube by now, but it's not black and white. And plus I'm giving shading as well, so that's a whole new level of dedication. And hopefully when it is out, or before it's out, I think I'm gonna like have some teasers for it, but before it's out, hopefully people will look forward to that. There we go. I'm like drawing shirt wrinkles. Sometimes I don't know how shirt wrinkles operate much. But I'd say for the looser parts, there is less wrinkles. So this is kind of like not a preview. This is like looking at something with an angle. That's why it looks like a little bit odd. There we go. I actually don't know. I don't think I've ever seen those ads. There we go. Yeah. Because ads are different in every region. I don't know, these staircases look a bit odd. So, thing is about the sketches that I make before drawing the actual pieces is that sometimes I do less detail on pages. Less details on pages because sometimes I just don't feel like drawing. But I realize that really affects the digital art pieces. I mean, that's kind of expected, but I think more dedication to like traditional pages and then kind of then drawing it into digital really helps a lot. Kind of already maps out everything, and all you have to do is kind of zone out while tracing art, and you don't really have to work as hard. Okay. Dang, that brow looks a little bit wonky. But yeah, I think I should definitely do a sketchbook tour afterwards, because that sketchbook I have spent like a few months, like half month, even a year even, And even though inside the pages have like different phases, I'd say, because sometimes especially on days that I do not feel like drawing, the pages can seem pretty empty. And sometimes I'd go back to fill them up, but other times I wouldn't, because I think those are the days that just let me remember, not every single day I have a really great idea and go through with it, or just like have the motivation to draw. And I think that shouldn't be like, super normalized, but like I think, that could be more, just let artists more like embrace more of that part. And also hello. But yeah. The thing is about the manga, the reason why I decided to continue it again is because I really enjoyed the storyline myself. I went back and read it, and me myself, kind of looking at reading it in a whole nother perspective, I myself wanted to keep reading it because I thought the storyline was interesting. Although I think in between like timelines, because I kind of like did like a time reverse type of thing where a character is introduced and then you kind of don't get to know her past until midway of the story. And I kind of did that thing, and I think that really confused most people while reading it. But hopefully, they can understand that it's like a time reverse thing where you kind of get to know the character after some things has happened. But yeah, then again, if you want to read this, it's in the link down in the description below. It is totally free. Webtoons is free. You can read it for free. You don't have to pay any amounts of money. It is 100% free. And I just really appreciate it if you go check it out, because it's a lot of time, it's a lot of work, and it's something that I've been working on since 2021. So if the art style looks like a little bit different, do not mind it. It's because I started it when I was quite young, and my skills, my art style just gets better as I keep drawing. So it does look a little bit different. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what I was thinking while designing these hairpins. I think I was like kind of inspired by Coraline, because Coraline had some really cool hairpins. She had one really cool hairpin. It's kind of like a dragonfly. I think it was a dragonfly. And so I kind of took inspiration from that. But yeah, while animating, I was really experimenting with like different transitions and how to animate I'd say facial features. I really like to animate facial features because it's really fun, and I found that I was pretty good at it. Like, probably not the best, but I'd say I had a pretty good chance of mastering it. So I really enjoyed it. It was hard work, I'm not gonna lie. It takes so many hours, so much time to just create a few seconds per frame, like few seconds in like a video, which is like crazy to me. But it's really satisfying and refreshing to see it all come together and seeing the hard work paid off, even though it's just like a few seconds. And I don't think people understand that. People need to appreciate animation more, because people sometimes would say anime is for children, anime is for little kids, but it really isn't. It's like for all ages. It's not just for a certain type of age group. It's for all ages. Also, hello, welcome. But yeah, it's for all ages. It's not just for children. It's not a cartoon. Anime does not equal cartoon. Um, and even cartoons at times, not all of them are for children, but anime especially. So yeah, I think people need to really appreciate animation more. Um, because I think a lot of these animation studios, they really sometimes create something just to get a cash grab, and I see these projects come out to just be cash grabs, and rarely these cash grabs would be really something like very worthy of my cash, I think. um Unless like, because most of the things are just brain rot or some sort of, just brain rotted jokes that can try to grab the masses attention. And I don't necessarily have a problem with that, but I definitely don't think I got every or like anything out of it. I don't really get anything out of it. I don't get like not much knowledge. Not saying like I need to be a nerd while watching every show, but I'd appreciate like some emotional like storyline, like quality stuff, if you get what I'm trying to say. Which then again, they do have that, but probably it's just me. They're projecting it in a way that I do not like. Some people would say Demon Slayer is overrated, which I can see where they're like coming from. Because Demon Slayer does kind of seem like a cash grab, but then again, I think it's still pretty good. That's like probably the only cash grab I kind of can tolerate. Probably one of the most toleratable ones. Because Demon Slayer is one of the first animes that got me into anime. But I say like really cool stuff or like really worthy stuff of cash is definitely Miyazaki. Just straight up. I think every few live streams I'm just gonna be talking about Miyazaki for some reason. What can I say? They made my childhood. Those movies made my childhood. And I just cannot forget them. And those are like high quality work. And storylines. Okay. I'm still kind of hesitant to draw this room because I'm not gonna lie, I've struggled with the beds over here. The bed here is just really, I don't know, the angles, I'm struggling with how to face them like 3D because they're like 3D like shapes. They're 3D shapes, and I'm kind of really struggling to align them with the angle that I want them to be facing, if that makes sense. So I'm kind of hesitant on that part, so I'm like drawing the more easier parts for now. And yes, I am all using kind of like an auto line corrector. I don't know how to say it. I'm just gonna call it that. Because, there are some lines that I really need for them to be straight and more formal. Wait a second. Oh, okay, I can understand that now. Alright. This is a text bubble. But yeah, Yuki to me is kind of a character that I feel neutral about. I don't like them, but I also don't hate them. But I do like Aoi. She is courageous, and also just, I really like her design. Okay, I'm back. I think everyone cried with the impact of knowing like Rengoku from Demon Slayer. I think a lot of people cried, or not, or maybe I'm just like a really emotional person when I saw Rengoku die. Also, if you do not know that Rengoku died, I'm sorry, I just spoiled you. But yeah, Demon Slayer is, I'd say, pretty fun to watch, even though it's like sometimes really gory. I really like their character development and, you know, how they grow and what their personalities are and, you know, how they deal with kind of like fighting demons and fighting scary stuff. I used to really like Zenitsu. Inosuke is also kind of cool. And then who else? I think Netsuko is kind of overrated. Although she's still like, I don't really hate her, but she's kind of overrated. Tanjiro is okay. I think they're really nice. What else? Kind of forgot. But yeah, they're coming out with a movie, which I'm super excited about. I think it's like called like a castle arc or something like that, where they're like in the castle finally fighting. Listen, I'm not gonna even try. I'm just gonna call them Michael Jackson, which is the main boss of all the demons, I guess. Alright. Put this in black. Fun fact about this hand that I'm about to trace is that I did the practice method where I have another piece of paper on the side, and then I kind of drew that before actually drawing formally, which is with the character. So I kind of practiced drawing that hand before going into the actual details. Or like the actual paper itself, or like the, you know, the page, if you get what I'm trying to say. Oh my gosh, I ran out of water. Dude. I have like an hour long to talk and I ran out of water. Let me go get water. Because ain't no way. Okay, I'm back. I feel like days and months go by so much faster now for some reason. And I don't know how to explain it. It just feels like time is flying so fast all of a sudden. I don't know if it's like a growing up thing where, you know, you can kind of time goes like much slower when you're like in elementary school or something, and then just when you just got into your teens, then things start to move really fast for some reason, which is really odd to me. You think you're in RT block? Oh, art block. Okay. I'd suggest you have many ideas. Okay. That's really odd. That's a really odd combination. It's really confusing, I'd say, to have art block and have many ideas. I'd say probably focus on one idea and write all of the ideas down and focus that on that one idea that you have and go through with that one. Because even I struggle with that at times where I have a lot of ideas and I don't go through with most of them because I start 3 of them at the same time, which is really bad. So yeah. But when I draw it on paper, my art seems to get more sloppy or like more anime-ish. Okay. Depending on if you like that or not, if you don't like your art style or if you don't like where it's heading, then I'd say go on YouTube and like check out different artists' art style or like kind of, you know, search up how they draw and stuff, because I actually go on YouTube and I like to kind of see how people render and kind of sketch and see how they draw in general, traditionally and digitally. So I'd recommend like seeing other artists, especially the artists that you find inspiration from or like see their art style and say, okay, I really like that art style. Then definitely go check them out and check them out as in see how they draw. Well, my art style is kind of anime, but this time it goes too far. Oh, like really anime, like really anime-ish. Like there is no sense of semi-realism. I just want everyone to know, if you're like drawing right now, to not be afraid of your art style kind of, you know, basically changing. You can change it back or like change into more suitable for you or like something that you enjoy more by kind of just practicing other methods of like art, of how people draw. And I think that's just really the beautiful thing about YouTube, is that you can learn from other people. Hello, I am drawing Yuki's Endless Void, my webtoons, kind of like a manga / comic, if you would say. If you want to check that out, definitely go down in the description below, webtoons, link to Yuki's Endless Void. I started this then again back in 2021, and I basically drew this while I was really young. So my art style back then, when I first posted the webtoon series, were not the best, like on the best like skill level, I'd say, but I am improving. If you would want to see like the difference between, if you saw like the difference between episode 1 to like episode 11, you definitely see like a big difference there, trust me. Episode 1 and episode 11, if you put them side by side, you would see a big difference. So yeah, I learned anatomy and that really helped me a lot. But I think, you know, in that age when I was creating, I didn't think much about, you know, what people would think if I started drawing now. I just want to create. And I'm really glad I did create before, you know, I learned the skill, because I think skills is something that you can learn just along the way. But like having that creativity, that motivation, and that inspiration to draw doesn't always come along so easily as skill does. So yeah. And also talent only takes you so far. Talent only takes you so far. And also thanks. Okay, here we go. All right. But yeah, I kind of just started to figure out how to draw things more efficiently, or just like in a more smarter way without having a burnt out, or like before going to a project, kind of just writing down every single project that I can think of, and then kind of just focusing on one project at a time. I don't know. I think for me, having my attention all on one project sometimes is quite hard, especially if I really have a lot of ideas on my head. That is really, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea, because I even tried that myself. I'd say my experience was that I found myself making quite cursed objects, which isn't good, I guess. But I was just starting out. I'm not the best with clay. But I think I'm getting better. Yeah. The thing is, I don't think an artist needs to draw every single day. They can do something artistic. It doesn't have to be drawing every single day. You can basically do something artistic every single day, like probably singing, dancing, or like creating a song, or sculpting, which is super fun to a certain degree. Well, for me at least, I don't know. Sometimes I'd be sculpting and I'd be like, okay, what am I making? What is this? Exactly, especially animations. Animations are something that really consumes time so much in a day. And I think animations, if you'd say something that would burn you out as fast, I'd say animations could definitely do that. So that's why I think kind of basically noting down all the ideas and then do, or like choose one idea at a time and then draw out the storyboards and then just focus on that one. And if like you think it's boring in between and say, oh my gosh, dude, I've been working on this for so long, I'm starting to get bored with, you know, drawing this, I'd say doodle in your sketchbook. And if you have another idea while doodling in your sketchbook, write it down and then keep finishing the animation that you're trying to finish. Because I think animation's like really rewarding at the end of the day when you finally finish it. Like seriously, animation's like so cool. I don't use a expensive animating program, even though I think I did pay for Adobe, but I didn't end up using it because I think Adobe was too complicated for me, or like I didn't have the energy or the time to learn it. I was like, man, this is too complicated for me. But I think I really need to go back and learn how to animate with Adobe, because Adobe, I think, is actually really good. I heard and I seen a lot of things made out of Adobe that were quite just amazing, like masterpieces. So I definitely think I should learn that, because recently, well, as of now, I'm using Flip-a-Clip, which isn't bad, don't get me wrong, but if you want to get into like details, if you know what I'm trying to say, without having a breakdown, Adobe is definitely one of the more useful ones. Alright. But yeah, line art, like this itself, the line art itself, already takes me quite a long time. So then again, I'd really appreciate it if you would check it out. Check the manga/comic out. Because then again, I do color in these pages. These aren't just line art. I do color these in. Thank you. Yeah, I really can't wait to show everyone in the community what I've been working on. Because I was working on an animation as well for Yuki Silence Void. And I really enjoy it. Also, if you hear like a really weird sound or like a phone ring, you know, that's my bad. My dog was speaking. My dog speaks. He doesn't necessarily bark, he growls or like does these really weird sounds. Sounds kind of human at times, I'd say. Alright. But yeah, I'd say balancing out the anime art style with semi-realism is also something that I've been practicing this week because, you know, I love semi-realism, but I don't necessarily like too much of anime and I don't necessarily like too much of realism. So, you know, balancing that out is quite challenging, I'm not gonna lie. Kind of like symbolizing things without, you know, kind of taking all of the things that gives it its charm away, if that makes sense. Like I don't know how to explain it. Leaving more room for detail, basically, by symbolizing the art. Which doesn't really make sense if you think about it. It sometimes really doesn't make sense until you like do it. Anyway, it's just really confusing. It's something that needs time to master. So that's what I've been doing lately. Oh boy. We're about to start drawing the thing that I've been trying to avoid to draw, which is the landscape, the room that I'm trying to avoid to draw. Okay. We're gonna have to draw it eventually. Alright. But yeah, definitely hit that subscribe button and be sure to leave the notifications on so you don't miss the live streams and also my posts, of course. And yeah, one moment. One moment, everyone. Okay, I'm back. I'm a very busy person in a day. Very busy. Like, during the day, like, something, I would be called to do something, and then I have to, like, pause everything, and then go do them. So, yeah, this happens. This is, like, a daily thing for me. Here we go. I really like to do these, like, little eye expression details, because it just reminds me of, you know, you don't really have to speak through your like your mouth, if that makes sense. You can speak through, like, expression, which is pretty, I think everyone knows that, but capturing that is just another quite challenging way at times. And I think I've grown fond of just capturing those moments, no matter if it's, like, really intense or not, and just really enjoy capturing those moments. And I like to see those moments being captured by other artists as well. It's, like, really interesting to see. So the program that I'm using is called Sketchbook. It is totally free. I've been using this, then again, since 2021. So it's definitely an app that I have got comfortable with, even though it's, like, not the most best art program compared to other programs. But I have grown quite comfortable with this program, and, you know, I don't plan on really changing, because to me, you know, changing a program, it might be similar, it might be, you know, quite similar to, you know, change pens and whatnot, but it's very different. It's actually very different because it's so advanced. And I'm really sad that Adobe Arts, I think Adobe had, like, an art program as well where you can draw on it, basically. I'm really sad that they don't have it in the Play stores. They have it in the Apple stores, but not Play stores, which is really sad to me. They don't have those apps for Android, like the art apps, illustration apps, the Adobe Illustration. Oh my gosh, there we go. Adobe Illustration for Android users, which is really crappy to me. Wow. They're Android phobic. But yeah, that was really sad to me. Hopefully they come out with, you know, a version for Android, or just let it be available in the Play stores, because I think it's, like, really useful. Okay, I'm just gonna do this method where I kind of, like, draw over the text bubble, and then I can erase, like, the middle lines. There we go. Alright. So Always hair is actually made out of slime, and I just personally think that's, like, really cool. I know it's, like, not the most original, but I think it's, like, really cool. It's a really cool concept. I really like her character design. But then again, Yuki, I'm like, eh. Yuki is, like, one of those characters where it's, like, a main character, but they're not the most intelligent, and they're just kind of oblivious and naive. I know this is like a really weird angle for her, but it's because she's like looking back, and if you notice, you know, if people kind of look back, they have their features kind of puff out a little bit more, just because, you know, they're not flat faced. They don't have a flat face, despite 2D characters. You know, they're not having a flat faced feature looking. Anyway, you get the point. I think the first few times when I tried sculpting, I low-key think it looked even worse than just it being creepy. It looked really bad. And I remember a project that I used to experiment on, which was taking a Barbie and then using nail polish remover to basically remove the Barbie's face features. So the Barbie has nothing on its face, so it's like a blank, you know, just blank Barbie head face. And that was so scary. Oh my gosh. But I think I was trying to like repaint the Barbie's face or something, but then again, I didn't have the right tools, and I think it was like one of the most terrifying things that I ever made. Like, I low-key was so scared after I removed the makeup, or like the paint job on the Barbie's face, to the point I locked it in a drawer, and I never want to take it out ever again. Because that is so scary. Like, sometimes I'd be really nice to my Barbies just because I think they would haunt me, and if they like had something within them that they would be able to haunt me, and so I'd be like, okay, you don't have to haunt me, see, I'm really nice to you. I don't know if people have that mutual fear. But yeah, that was me as a child. I still have my like old child toy box, like children books and toy boxes, but I'm thinking of giving them away to like younger children, but some I still feel like I want to keep as a memory of that like child self, because this year, the end of this year, is just like a really big day for me, or like a really big year for me, I'd say, because I'm no longer gonna be a child, which is kind of crazy to think. I don't know why, but most people nowadays look so mature. I think most 13-year-olds nowadays look like they're 20 or something, which is really crazy to me. Most 13-year-olds look like they're 20. They're in their 20s or something. Or like 14-year-olds. Okay. Should this be like one scene? That actually looks kind of good with like one scene, because I was actually planning on to like being separate, kind of like cutting it off like around, you know, here, but I think they look pretty good together like this. I wasn't expecting that. Okay. All right. We are finally going to face our fears and draw this room that I've been avoiding this whole time. Here we go. Right. Pardon me just using like a straight line thingy to correct the lines, or just kind of scan through and trace through. but it's like the most easiest way, and also just more precise. All right. And then now we're gonna use this over here. This is the ceiling, by the way. This part is the ceiling. You're paranoid. Pardoned? You're pardoned? What is pardoned? Oh! Pardoned. Thank you. I think I'm zoning out. I'm tweaking. I'm tweaking while reading the chat. Gosh, today has been such a long day. I have no idea. Sometimes when you're isolated for quite a long time and you start having the thoughts that you do not want to think about, and you're on social media all the time, and social media is so brain rotted and so much, and it just starts to kind of embed in your subconscious mind, and you just get so scared, and just it's so bad. It's such a, I don't know. I don't like being in this state for too long at all, or just not even for too long. I just don't even like to be in the state in the first place. Okay. Here we go. But yeah, what do you think about these domes? I don't know. Do they look comfortable? They look isolating. But at least you don't have a computer or something in there, you know? So you don't have to worry about the brain rot. You're just gonna have to worry about the silence. I don't know, silence is better or brain rot? Which one would you pick? Personally, after what I've experienced, probably silence is much better. But it's not easy. Because I really get bored after, I'd say my limit's 30 minutes. And then I'd instantly want to start doing something else. But I think training yourself not to be on a device for too long is also really impressive. So I think, sometimes I try that in a day where I kind of detox from devices, from brain rotacy. Do these look like beds? They look a bit odd. Just a bit odd. I don't know, explain. I think this one should be more flatter. This one feels like it's kind of leveling up a little bit. I don't know how to say it. It's it feels like there's something kind of sliding, making it slide upwards. So I think this should be more flat. Hello? I'm trying to zoom out. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's a bed. Yeah. What do you what do you think? What do you think this looks like if it's not a bed? Also, to the people who come in, yeah, I have to say thank you to the moderator. Here we go. But yeah, I don't think I should draw these out because these are just actually metaphorically there. I don't think drawing them out like this would look so good. So I'm just gonna color it in, and then I'm gonna use a white color to kind of, you know, do that effect where it kind of looks like it's reflecting light, or just like look translucent, which is, yeah, a good idea. Woohoo. All right. I think I should do this symbol instead, because I don't know what the heck this is. Right, there we go. Yeah, there we go. That looks actually kind of weird. Still kind of odd, but that'll do. That'll do. Is this the soundtrack that plays 8 minutes straight and just literally sucks out the literal brain cells out of my brain? Yep, this is. Okay, there we go. Why is the bed in a jar? The bed's not in a jar. The bed is in, like, okay, so what I'm planning to design, okay, just tell me if this is like a human design. So this is like somewhat of like not an incubator, but it's like a relaxing space. So all of this stuff, this wall here, or like this kind of cylinder thing, it can open. So this is like its opening point. You see this line here? It can open from here to the other side and for you to go in. And then, you know, then it kind of turns into this space where you lay down, and then this is also a monitor. And what that means is it turns into anything you want, and like you can connect it to like a nature kind of video playing, or like a naturistic look, and it looks real on the inside, but you can only see it on the inside. And also this turns like into color once you're in it, so you have some privacy. So yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a really sci-fi kind of cyber design. It's not in the real life yet. At least I do not think, but you know, at least I don't think. So, not yet. Anyway. Well, yeah. I kind of created a staircase. Why? Because I can. No, I'm joking. Because, well, technically not joking, but because I want to levitate the bed. Okay, anyway. Is that the same idea as Japanese public bathrooms? Wait, what? What? Japanese public bathrooms have that design? Wait, I don't get it. What do you mean? I've never seen that design before. I didn't know that. But I guess so, if it is actually that kind of design. Because I mean, privacy and, you know, but like bed edition, I guess. Like bedroom edition, you know, sleep edition, I guess. I don't know, I was trying to be, you know, innovative, creative. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, it's somewhat like that, but the difference is mine is more high technology and much better. And inside, it can not only turn, you know, covers whoever is inside for privacy, but it also can play something that soothes you to sleep. Like, it can play anything, if that makes sense. So like, for instance, today, if I went inside, and something that makes me fall asleep is like looking at the sky full of like stars while it's like late at night with somewhat woods surrounding me. Then it would play that. It would literally make you feel like you're in that scenery. And it even has like a little bit of like sounds and music playing, and has like the vibe, and like depending on what you personally like, it just does that on each dome, kind of. Oh yeah. Oh, this bed is looking really wonky. Okay, I don't like how that looks. But I didn't know Japanese. Oh, not Japanese. I didn't know Japan has that kind of bathroom, which is like really cool. So where I live, in most of the apartments, we have really cool bathrooms. They don't have, translucent doors, and then you go inside and then you can't see through it. But we do have heated toilets, and then there's like bidets, and those heated toilets are really nice, especially in like winter, because it gets really cold, and in the morning, especially early mornings, the seat would be really cold, and I really hate that. So they have like these heated seats, which is really nice. But I bet like the electricity bill is super high for the apartment. Apartment? What? The mall. The mall is what I mean. The mall. I'm not just like barging into random apartments. They'd be like, "Who you?" Don't worry, I'm just the toilet inspector. Just to check if you have the highest quality of toilets. That'd be really weird. Alright. My throat is killing me. Talking for 1 hour is definitely something people should train on, especially if you're starting a live stream. Don't worry, but I'm actually joking about that. It will train itself when you live stream a lot. Wait, I don't think that's meant to be there. Yeah, no, that's not meant to be there. Okay. I'm wondering what this is. Okay, that's not what I want to do. Bro. The thing about the line autocorrector is that it doesn't bend something that is slightly bent as of a straight line. So you kind of just have to stop using the auto line art corrector. Okay, there we go. Voila. Oh yeah. Okay. Yup. I'm giving up on the lights, I'm not gonna lie. Those lights look so weird. Okay. Okay. Okay, now let's do this. Over here. And then, okay, where is it? There we go. Go over here. Right, and then we're gonna erase some stuff over here. And then we're gonna be done. Okay. I'm tweaking. Okay. Voila! Alright, now what we're gonna do is merge them all together. And then we're gonna remove the original sketch. Also, this is the original sketch, by the way, just for you guys to kind kind of take a look at where I started. Where? Oh, never mind. Okay, this is. Why does it look like raw steak? Well, eat up, eat up, protein, free protein. They look like raw steak. Your steak has wrinkles. Your steak has wrinkles. Your steak wrinkles like this. I'd be concerned if your steak has wrinkles. Yeah. There we go. Hey. Alright. Oh yeah, over here. Definitely gotta let them lines connect. Alright, there we go. But yeah, this is the line art by itself. Oh my gosh, my eyes. Oh, it's so bright. Okay, wow. It was so bright. Oh my gosh. Blindness. Alright. Yeah, it exercise every now and then. Dang, so you're telling me it has like stretch marks from exercising? You have exercising steak for extra protein? Okay, here we go. There we go. Just kind of like, dude! Oh my gosh, zoom out, bro! That was embarrassing. Okay. Voila. Alright, now we're done. We're done with the line art, or are we? Yes, we are. Okay, we're done with the line art. And now we're gonna start coloring. Psych, we're not gonna color today. I'm done. I am done with this art piece for today. Alright. Voila. I might actually fix the light here, though. The lights here look really odd. I might actually fix that and probably redesign that. But, oh my gosh. For now, that is done. We are done for the art for today. Comment down below what you thought about this whole stream. And also definitely subscribe and click the notifications bar. Have your notifications on so you don't miss the next stream. I usually stream on Saturdays and Sundays, and I'm gonna be streaming around this time or this day, like the start of how I stream today, usually on Saturdays and Sundays. And I'll see you next time. Definitely go check out all the descriptions, all the links down in descriptions below. Okay.